Good morning, everybody. We are here on beautiful Sanibel Island. We are down on the west end, West Gulf Drive, and we are going to do a little bit of virtual shelling. I was super excited when we got to the beach this morning. As you can see, the waves are rolling, lots of activity going on, and of course with high winds and big waves comes lots of shells. So if you can see, there are just a ton of shells that have washed up on the beach. So let's get to some virtual shelling here. Hello! Lots of shells. I'm so excited. You guys can see that there's a very definitive rock line here going on. Lots to look at. We got big stuff, we got small stuff, so we're gonna kind of just look and see what we can find. Piece of a shark eye here. Little Ceres. And I know that there's always shells that people look for specifically, right? So if you're a crafter, you're probably going to be looking for like some craft type shells. So these arc shells are great for crafting. They're great for borders on picture frames, on shell mirrors. If you're making shell fairy lights, same thing with these larger ones. These are great for like Christmas light decorations. If you're looking for the larger clam shells to paint, if you're a seashell painter, those are great. Other people are looking for more collection type shells. A lot of people like scallops and kitten paws. If you like to do, you know, the kitten paw or scallop trees with the holidays around the corner, you know, that's always really fun. So, you know, whatever shell you like to find, that's what your eye is going to go to. So if you're like, oh, I'm thinking scallops, your eye is going to go to the scallops. If you're thinking, oh, I want to look for whelks and olives, that's what your eye is going to go to. Ooh, look at that piece. Oh, is it whole? Oh, it's not. I got excited for a second. Look at that nice big chunk of a true tulip. But everybody looks for different types of shells. Not everybody is looking for the same shell when they come out to shell, and that's okay. But these are all shells. I know people that love the slipper shells, the Indian boats. They have different patterns. These make good craft shells as well. Some people like the other unique treasures, the driftwood, the barnacles. Love these little Venus clams. They're not much to look at on one side, but then you flip them over and they can have some really pretty purple and yellow colors underneath, which are really fun. Lots of scallops. There's a little calico clam. Some more little barnacles here. Jewelry boxes are kind of fun. They sometimes have really nice spines on one side, but then usually you flip them over and they're a beautiful purple color underneath. And sometimes we'll get lucky and find a bivalve still intact. These are all really always kind of fun to use, either for craft projects or a nice display. You can always do like a little display inside. People love to paint these as well, so that's really fun. Another little jewelry box. Oh, I love this little peachy pink tip there at the bottom. And then you flip it over and it's just beautiful underneath. Love that. We've got her really nice big cockle up here. Look at this ginormous shell pile. Holy cow, this would be so fun to just sit and dig in. I bet there is some amazing shells in here. Look at this really pretty, beautiful scallop. Let's see what else we've got in just this little area. Here's a really pretty cockle. The color underneath, that is beautiful. So many shells. Piece of a whelk here. Wow, look at this kitten paw. Look how bright. That's a really pretty one. Piles of shells. Oh my gosh. And sometimes if you dig, you'll find, like, look at this. This is like a really cool piece of driftwood. Look how cool that is. Oh my gosh, that's so neat. Okay, that's going in the shell bag. If you dig a little bit, sometimes you'll find smaller shells at the bottom. Like, here's a little auger right here hiding. Cute. Another little calico right here. Here's another auger right here. Oh, I lost it. Cute little Indian boat. I love the ones with, like, the patterns like that. Little slipper shell. And there's so many kitten paws. I usually will pick a day and come out here and, like, just pick up a certain kind of shell. Like, I'll just pick up kitten paws, or I'll just pick up coquinas, and I'll just focus on, like, that one type of shell. So you get so overwhelmed, you know? There's so many. I mean, if I just focus on kitten paws, my eye will go to all the kitten paws. If I just focus on Indian boats or slipper shells, my eye will go to those. Same thing with, like, carditas. I love carditas. They come in so many different patterns. They have, like, kind of stripes. There's some that are dark. There's some that are light. There's some that are spotted. They're really fun craft shells. I think they're a shell that's kind of underrated in a way. Another one right here. They're the ones that always fake me out for, like, alphabet cones, because you see it, like, you'll see, like, that much of it, and you'll see the spots and you'll think that it's like an alphabet cone, but it's a cardita. But I think that they're really pretty. Here's another one hiding right here. But if I'm thinking about them, I tend to kind of spot them more easily. So sometimes if I'm looking for a particular shell for crafting, I'll come out here and be like, today's the day for kitten paws, or today's the day for carditas. And I'll just fill my shell bag with, like, those specific shells. Because if you're just coming out to look for kind of the seashell collector shells, you'll skip right over all the other ones. You'll skip right over all the common shells. And then you're gonna go do a craft and you're gonna say, oh my gosh, like, I wish I had, 50 kitten paws. And you're gonna realize that you just never picked them up, right? You just looked right over them. Because they're so common and there's so many of them. And that's what I tell people, like, when people say they come and they couldn't find shells. Well, you can find shells, you just weren't looking for that kind of shell. You were looking for horse conchs and you were looking for tulips. You weren't looking for kitten paws, carditas, and slipper shells, right? Look how pretty this orange scallop is right here with the gray. Look how pretty. Oh, here's a really pretty piece of coral here. We don't find a lot of coral on these beaches. If you guys remember the East Coast video, we found so much coral over there, but we don't really find a lot of pieces, so that's a nice piece to find over here. Here's another really pretty yellow cockle. Look how pretty this one is. That is beautiful. And there's another cardita, kind of a big one too, here. So pretty similar to a turkey wing, but different shape. Here's some more cool pieces of driftwood. We've had like crazy winds, so the winds are bringing in all kinds of good stuff to the beach. And I'm up here, kind of the higher rack line here, but there's a lower one down here too. So let's come down here and see what we've got down here. Kind of the more fresh rack line. Got anything fun down here? Ooh, here comes some waves. Oh, look right here. There's an alternate talon. We don't find a lot of talons up this way either. So that's a really pretty alternate talon. The rose petal talons are pink. The alternate talons are white, and they really look like giant coquinas. So that's a really fun find for up this way on Sanibel. There's a little coquina here. Nice little striped pattern there. And here's another purple one. There's always coquinas. You can always find a ton of patterns and shapes, or rather patterns and colors on your coquinas. Ooh, here's a nice piece of a true tulip. Always finding those pieces. Here's a buttercup. I love buttercups. And a really pretty jingle shell too. Look how pretty that jingle shell is. Iridescent, shiny, metallic. There's a buttercup. Stand out. How pretty. Oh, and there's another buttercup too right there. I love those bright colored shells. A couple of you have commented that where you live, you don't always find the brightly colored shells. So that's something that is unique to down here. Here's a little juvenile conch. We love those bright colored shells that we get. Look at the color on this piece as well. Beautiful. And up here, we've got another really pretty juvenile. Look at the pattern on this conch. Look how pretty. That is really nice. Gorgeous. There's a little piece of a tulip again. Lots of pieces today. Of a conch is always really fun too to find. These actually make a really fun rose. So if you're making like a bouquet, shell bouquet, and especially if you can find the core all the way around, this, if you paint this, it makes a really kind of fun, rose. in your bouquet, like, you know, the one that hasn't flowered yet. So those are always really fun. Even broken shells are pretty and can be useful. That's a pretty one. That's a cool piece of a Mirax there, that cross section. Alright, look at all the shells. Lots of people out shelling today. This is a great day to shell. Great day for shelling. Come up here. There's just shells everywhere. Shells everywhere. Let's see if we have anything fun up here. Alrighty. Let's see what we got. Check out this high rack line. There's an operculum. That's always a fun treasure. Nice big operculum from either a whelk or a big horse conch. That's always really fun. And here we've got another really pretty buttercup. How pretty. And right there we've got another coquina, and it is an intact bivalve, so it's super pretty. Pretty little pink stripes on that one. And let's see what else we've got here. Oh, we've got a really pretty rough scallop. So usually we find calico scallops, but we do find some of these rough scallops. And you'll know a rough scallop, it's got a little damage there that it healed from at some point. But the rough scallops, you'll notice, let me kind of hold it so you can see, on the bottom, one wing will be longer than the other. So this is the short one, and then this side is the long one. Whereas a calico scallop, let me see if I can find one. Here. Oh, look, here's a piece of a true tulip too. Look at that. So let me grab this scallop here. Let me find a good place for it. I'm trying to find. Here, I'll just put it in my hand, I guess. I was trying to find a darker one to show you guys, but. So if you guys can see the bottom on there, they're pretty equal, right? They're pretty even. And the rough scallop, oh, the sun's at a really bad angle. But the rough scallop, they're not going to be equal. So that's kind of an easy way to tell the difference there, if you're not quite sure. They're pretty cockle. These cockles, these yellow cockles are so pretty. Bright yellow, almost like a buttercup with some texture. Let's see what else we've got up here in this high rack line. You can see how high the water has gotten. So you can see right here where the sand is still wet. So this is that high rack line. Got really close to the stairs there. So we're just checking out what we've got going on up here, and then we'll go down a little bit lower. Always tons of places to look. Remember, like if there's not a lot on the beach, go in the water. If you're not finding anything in the water, go up on the beach. If you're not finding anything on the beach, go higher on the beach. Like there's always places that you can go. If you're not finding anything in any of those places, go to a different beach. Like there's always places that you can go to find shells. So like here is the high rock line, right? And so we're gonna just follow this down here to the lower rock line. I'm trying to stay out of the shadow here because it's kind of still early and the sun's coming up and it's kind of in the way. Here's another really pretty little orange scallop right here. I love these orange scallops, they're so pretty. Oops, it blew right out of my hand there. That's how windy it is. Hopefully it's not going to be that crazy windy with my handy dandy microphone on, but no, I never know until I get home and listen. There's some pretty scallops. There's a pretty pink one. Here's another pretty one. Love the calico scallops. Here. So pretty. Alright, let's check out this pile here. And I can't pass up these beautiful scallops. Like, I just can't pass them up. They're so pretty. Oops. I dropped it. There's a little conch right here. Olive hiding here. Here's a little piece of a sand dollar. I wonder if we'll find any intact sand dollars. The thing is, when you find a lot of shells that are in pieces, you know it's like they had a rough tumble getting here, you know? So typically you can bet that you probably won't find a lot of intact shells that are fragile. Let's see. Ooh, look at this seraph. Ooh, and look at this. There's a horse conch here. Look how pretty this horse conch is. Oh, perfect. Beautiful. And then we have this beautiful seraph. Look at the color on that. That is gorgeous. Two really nice shells right next to each other. Almost didn't see either one of those. Get down real low. Do the stoop. Do the stoop. Because listen, if you don't get down, you're not going to see all these shells. See. Okay, so here's a cute little kitten paw right here. Look how cute this one is with all the little kitten toes. That. And then, oh, you see this tiny whelk? Look at this little whelk. Well, it's not tiny, but it's little. Cute. That's what I said. If you don't get down, you won't see them. You won't see all the little shells. This is a good place if you have a beach chair to just slant your beach chair, right? Plant it and sit and just dig through shells, because this pile is like pretty good sized pile here. See if I can find anything else. Here's another little slipper shells. This one with little dots. Here's a little kitten paw here. Day for calico clams. I usually don't find a lot of them. So today's a good day for that. can't tell if my camera's focused. I hope it is. It's so bright out here in the morning. Like when that sun's at that angle, oh my gosh, I feel like I can't like see anything. There's a pretty scallop. Oh look, there's a cone. A little Florida cone. That's pretty, that's fun. You don't mind cones like super often. There's a pretty scallop too. Always after that alphabet cone, but Florida cones are super fun also to find. Let's see, I'm trying to kind of scan to see if I see anything. Hiding in all of this. I would just sit down and dig. I need a digger. Oh, see, look at that. See? There are shells under here. Look at this cute little apple murex. There are definitely shells hiding amongst the shells. There's big scallops too. Oh my gosh. These giant scallops. So fun, big scallops. Here. There's another little rough scallop. Got a buttercup. Oh, look at here. Oh, there's a piece of a true. Oh, that would have been so pretty. Look at that. Man, it's always a bummer when you find like a really pretty piece and you're like, man, if it was just whole, it'd be perfect. It's a little turbo. I love turbos. I used to love finding those as a kid. There's a nice fighting conch. Okay, so here's the question. I want to know, of the common shells, okay, so like scallops or kitten paws or jingle shells, slipper shells, carditas, we'll throw conchs in there, juvenile conchs, fighting conchs, because I feel like those are common shells too. Clam shells, any species, coquinas, what is the most common, what is the common shell that you have to pick up? Like, what's your favorite common shell that you can't resist? Common shells though, like the shells that everybody else looks over. Because when people come to the beach, not everybody picks up kitten paws and not everybody picks up carditas and jewelry boxes. Like, I think jewelry boxes are so fun and unique and pretty, but like people pass those right up. So what is that shell? What's that one common shell that you pick up that nobody else picks up? And that you're like, hey, I think it's great because when I come to the beach, I know that they're all there for me because nobody else picks them up. So what's the one shell? I want to know, what's the one shell that when you would come to the beach, it doesn't matter if there's no other awesome shells at the beach, what's the one shell that you love to pick up that you know that's always here? I want to know. I want to know what it is. here's a nice little olive. You don't always see olives. I mean, even though olives are a more common shell, you don't always see them, right? But I can come to the beach literally any day and find coquinas, arc shells, scallops, augers. I love augers. Jingle shells, right? Like jingle shells are so fun. I could pick up jingle shells all day. They're really fragile, but I think that they're so pretty. They come in different colors. They're fun for crafting. There's a little juvenile fighting conch here.
These are alive?
Scallop.
There's tons of stuff on.
All right, we always got to check out what husband found because he always finds good stuff. So let's see what he got. All right, he always finds the most awesome orange scallops. So let me take out these two orange ones because then you guys can see the difference between the rough scallop. Okay, so you can see here the two wings are about equal, right? Okay, and then here's the rough scallop, and you can see this one's longer than this one. You guys can see that? So that's how you can tell the difference between rough scallop and calico scallop. And then we've got some calico clams, which we love. We love those calico clams, right? Oh, we found tulips. Found tulips. There's nobody in there. There's just sand. Sand there. Banded tulips. Like a big one, that big banded tulip. And we've got big orange scallop. This giant orange scallop. We've got a very holy horse conch here. Oh, here's another rough scallop, guys. You can see the difference in the bottom on the wings. Got a perfect shark eye with that. That is beautiful. Look at that really pretty scallop. Pretty. Got milk here. Really pretty. Look at that pretty apple. And we've got some olives, some really nice, pretty shiny olives. Another weld and some scallops. Very nice. Beautiful. He always finds the best stuff. Okay, let's continue looking up here in this rack line. We've got a couple crab claws here. So here's the deal with crab claws, guys, and I get asked this all the time, okay? And I'm gonna go over it again because, and this is just my opinion, experience, whatever you wanna call it. If you find a crab claw or a crab and it is not empty, it is heavy, and you can see in here this is hollow. If it is not hollow, you have to clean it out or else it is gonna smell. You have to. Unless you are a taxidermist or you wanna send it to a taxidermist, it is very, very hard to preserve these because it is meat inside. It is a body and it is meat and you have to get it out. I know that there's a lot of people that want to save the legs on the crab and whatever, and I get that, and that's fine. There are taxidermists out there that you can send a whole crab to, you can send a whole fish to, and they will go through the process of extracting the meat and organs and then putting it back together for you. But if you find a crab claw on the beach and it has the meat still inside, you either need to get the meat out, or you need to leave it on the beach, or you need to take it home and get the meat out, which means you either need to somehow put it outside and let the ants take care of it. The problem with that is if you leave it out on your porch, you will have a critter come and take it away. Whether it's a raccoon or rats or a bird, they're gonna take it because this is yummy to them, right? They're like, wow, like stone crab claw. Like, I mean, do you guys know how much stone crab claws are down here for people at a restaurant? Like, the birds are gonna be like, yeah, man, free stone crab claws on your front porch. So you need to somehow put this buried in the dirt, buried pretty deep, so ants can get to it, but rodents and birds cannot. So I don't take them if they have meat in them. I just don't. But I'm also here more often, so I understand that if you really want to take it, just understand you've got to get the meat out. The meat has to come out because it will rot. It's gonna decay. And here's another little one right here. So you can see this one too is empty. There's nothing in there. It's completely hollow. So you just want to make sure that if you find a crab shell and it's just the shell, you're fine. But if the whole crab is still in there, you've got to clean it out, or else it's gonna stink really, really bad. There's a really pretty turbo. So for those of you who have been asking me, I found a crab, what do I do? That's the only advice I can give you. Either leave it, take a picture and leave it, or you've got to get that cleaned out, one way or the other. Another little buttercup. And I just saw, what did I just see? I just saw something on the corner of my eye. I moved my shell bag and now I don't see it. Hold on. Oh, let me get down here. Let's see if we can find whatever it was I thought I saw. Oh, there it is, a tellin. We've got another alternate tellin here. Right there. And then behind it, hiding, we have another little, cute little calico clam. Super cute. Here's another fun. I love these scallops with the barnacles. I try to send these out in treasure boxes. So if you receive these, it's not that I didn't clean the barnacle off. I left it because I think they're really cool. So hopefully you guys think they're really cool also. And then here's a really nice conch. Definitely take that pretty conch. What else we've got here? Gotta get down. There's a song. What's that song? I don't know. It starts like gotta get down. Dude, gotta get down. Okay, I don't know. Another operculum. Love those operculums. And oh, look! Oh, I was hoping I'd find a really pretty shark eye today. Look how pretty. Oh, and it's like perfect. Please, nobody home. Nobody home. Look how gorgeous. That is a pretty shark eye, you guys. That is gorgeous. Look how pretty. Wow. Beautiful. So pretty. Let's see what other goodness we can find up here. A little tulip. Look how pretty this tulip is. Little banded tulip. And here's a little auger. An olive. And a little tongue-tied. Oh, and here, okay, so this is another good example. Okay, so here, let's just say that you find a shell and it's got a crab in it, but the crab is dead, okay? Because it got dried out, it got washed ashore and never made it back, and I'm trying to zoom so you guys can see, but the crab is dead crab. But you want the shell, right? Because you're like, well, the crab's dead, so I can take it because it's not alive. Pull the crab out, okay? Pull the crab out because Mr. Crab is in there rotting, and Mr. Crab is gonna be really stinky, and if you put Mr. Crab in your bag, it's gonna stink up all your shells. So pull the crab out, and if you can't get him out at the beach, take him home, grab some tweezers, and just pull him out, because he's gonna be very, very, very stinky. And yes, you can pull him out because he's not alive anymore, but you've got to get him out because he's gonna eat this little crab. You guys, trust me, that little teeny tiny crab will stink up your whole condo. You won't even believe it. So try to get Mr. Crab, R.I.P. Mr. Crab, but try to get him out of there before you leave the beach if possible. Here's a really pretty piece of a horse conch, just the top. Just the top. That would have been a really nice sized one too. Oh, and there's another why I love these so much, but I just think they're so cool. I love them. And up here we got their, listen, I'm taking them while I can get them because we don't always find these calico clams. And look how pretty this pattern is. This one has like a checkerboard pattern on it that's really pretty. I know a few of you really like the calico clams too. Here's another cluster. Really pretty sunburst scallop there. There's a little worm rock. We call these worm rocks. They get pretty big. They're just a little worm makes them. They're kind of fun. They're kind of cool. There's a little juvenile fighting conch too, super cute. Okay, so shellers, take note. Hold on, I'm trying to get out of the sun here. Okay, so we have this shell pile right here. It's really pretty big, and if you can see, I'm sorry, I'm in the way of the sun, but somebody's been digging here. All right. So you're like, wow, somebody's been like digging quite a bit, so there's probably nothing left, right? No, it's kind of like, have you guys ever heard like at a slot machine, like a casino, somebody's been sitting at a slot machine for like hours and then they get up, they always say like, go sit on that one, you know what I mean? Have you guys ever heard that? Okay, well it's the same thing with shelling. If somebody's been sitting there digging around, like don't think that they found everything. That's like when you go, they dug it all up for you, right? So we're gonna come down here, we're gonna see like, what's here, all right? So we're gonna get down. Here's a little tulip right away, right? Look, little tulip. It's a little tulip. So this is where you come and you're like, well, all the work's done. They've dug it all up. Here's a little jewelry box, beautiful jewelry box here. They dug it all up for you. So you can just come right in and see what is here. I'm gonna get out of the way of the shadow. There's a little paper fig. Look how cute, and it's perfect. A perfect little paper fig. Lived through the waves, lived through somebody digging through. Let's see what else we got. I'm trying not to trip on these shells. Here's a little juvenile conch right here. So don't ever think that just because somebody was digging that they like found everything there is to find. Look at this one. Look at this beautiful patterned juvenile conch here. And then there's two carditas here. 1, 2, right here. I see another juvenile conch right here. And then back here we've got a little turbo. Cute little turbo right here. There's this little olive. I think it's broken. There's a little olive there. So don't ever assume that just because an area is all like dug up and you think it's like all looked through, like you're thinking, oh, you know, all the good shells are probably already found. No. Don't ever think that. That's when like they've dug it all up for you, so you can just go right in and see if there's any fun stuff there that they missed. Let's see. It's a really pretty scallop right here. I mean, I've got a handful of shells right now. You know? It's awesome. Ibis. Alright guys, here's a good little spot right here. Let's go and look through this little area. Put my shell bag down. Get down and look through. There's a little juvenile conch right here. There's a little buttercup. love all these buttercups. Love them.
Can we steal you for a second? Let's hear this story.
All right, guys, this is Roger from Pennsylvania, and he's got a very unique story for us. So, Roger, let us hear it.
Well, a couple of years ago, I was out here between Blue Dolphin and Mitchell's, right down there, about maybe a quarter of a mile, and there were some shell piles like this one, maybe a little bit bigger. And we have these diggers that we got that are for rock hounds, and I was just going like this, and about the third or fourth hole, out popped a baby Junonia about this big.
Oh, a baby Junonia.
Yep, it was a really nice find.
Wow, that's amazing. And
What's the moral of that story?
Digging a pile.
digging a pile, yeah.
Hard work, but sometimes it pays off.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for sharing that
Sure.
with us.
No problem.
Have a great day shelling. And there you have it, guys. The moral of the story. Don't give up on digging, just as I was saying. You never know what is right under that area where you were digging or somebody else was digging. So just remember, there's always shells to be found. So look at this pretty scallop. And look at this one too. This beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And right here, a little juvenile conch. And right here, we've got another little calico. It's such a great shell day today. Such a great, dropped my conch. Here's a really fun bivalve stocia here. These are always really fun to craft with and to paint. If you paint shells, you are probably very familiar with them. And here's another operculum. Gosh, lots of operculums today too. That's always super fun. What a super fun shell day. I always find these big giant heart cockles up here in the high rack line too. Oh, it's really fun. Look how pretty. It's a gorgeous one. Here's a little smaller one. And a smaller one. Awesome. Here's another one. We're getting into the giant heart cockle area, I think. Look at all of them. Oh my gosh. These will fill up your shell bag very quickly. These giant heart cockles. So if you want to collect them, my advice is to try and, let me show you, kind of cup them together like that. So when you put them in their bag, it doesn't take up too much space. Just a little shelling tip for you guys there. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this fun video shelling these crazy rack lines and shell piles on West Gulf today. The waves are just rolling in. I'm excited to see what else is in store for these beaches over the next couple weeks. I hope you guys all have yourself a shell-tastic rest of your week. Thank you so much.